All right, Shalom. I'd like to start off saying Kal Halayim La Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Harakakwadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Double honors to our elder apostle as well, Lahirwan Banya Allah, down here in the Lions Den camp. Salutations to the Ark that are pushing this truth, the sincerity and truth. And peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm Kanak and Banya Allah from the Lions Den and Yashar camp. And this is another Lions Den news and prophecy. I've been doing a lot of videos dealing with the situation going on in the Caribbean involving Venezuela and the United States. And the whole while Trump has been saying that, Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, is allegedly involved with drug cartels and aiding and abetting them to smuggle drugs into the United States, allegedly. But the whole time we've been saying it's more to it than that, right? And then what was it? The president or prime minister of Colombia was like, "Nah, it's more to it." He went to talking about um, some of the resources, which I had said before, the natural resources that are over there in Venezuela. But Trump, to justify, um, what is it? To justify, she's trying to justify the actions being taken over there in that region based upon uh, that theory of drug trafficking going on. So you send a big armada and battle formation to that area to pose a threat, to threaten your way into taking the natural resources, hoping. I mean, not necessarily hoping, but it wouldn't be smart to go to full out war. But America doesn't care now. They're willing to do it, you know. So like, let's go into this article real quick. It kind of just explains the greed of Esau, man. It says Venezuela completely surrounded by U.S. warships. Trump says. All right. It says President Trump said Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada in South American history. One that Trump threatens will only get bigger until the return of oil, land, and other assets he claims belong to the United States. You see that? But first, but first, but first, this is the Lions in News and Prophecy. You know what I got to do. This second Ezra chapter 15 and 1 it says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written on paper because they are faithful and true." Right? So, mm, 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 mm. Scripture says you show favor unto the wicked, yet will he still not learn righteousness, man. See that? He said something way over there that's on their land belongs to the United States. That's just like that's like somebody going. It's like um somebody got a nice backyard with a bunch of fruit trees in it, right? You go get your buddies with a bunch of guns and come over there and come knock on their door, talking about my fruit is in your backyard. Let me get that. Trump is really saying that the stuff that grows on Venezuelan soil belongs to the United States. And it's crazy. It says Trump also announced a blockade of all tankers carrying sanctioned oil and said he has designated that that Nicolas Maduro led Venezuelan regime as a foreign terrorist. He done label the president of Venezuela a foreign and his whole regime as foreign terrorism. And he the one sent the army over there. See how arrogant that is? This man ain't posed no threat on the United States whatsoever. The United States has been abruptly opposing its will on this place, but Trump labeled them as the terrorists. That's typical Esau, man. Said Trump also announced a blockade of all tankers carrying sanctioned oil and said he has designated that the Nicolas Maduro-led Venezuelan regime as a foreign terrorist organization, making three major moves in an escalating standoff. And they still haven't done anything in return. But America doesn't understand that they're stirring up a bee's nest. They're stirring up a bee's nest because Russia had already said that he's going to come to the aid of Venezuela. See that? I want to. If who else said they would come to the aid of Venezuela? Let me see something real quick. Okay. Ooh, 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 ooh. Check this out. I just looked up what countries are helping or aiding Venezuela. It says Venezuela's key supporters include global powers like Russia, China, Iran, and Turkey. What's that? What's that? What? Togomar, Istanbul, Ezekiel 37. Mm, Ezekiel 37. Like Persia, Iran was one of the ones that's gonna come equipped against. Man, come on, let me get that real quick. Let me get that real quick. Hold on. Ezekiel 37. Uh, no, Ezekiel 38. I'm sorry. All right, it says Ezekiel 38 and 1. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, all right, this is the word of the Lord coming unto Ezekiel. Now, we just read in Esdras, it says, speak thou into the ears of my people the words of prophecy. But we have to prophesy against these nations too. Let them know what the Most High said. That's why these scriptures are important. All right, so now the fact that you got, hold on, Russia, China, Iran, and Turkey offering financial, military, and diplomatic lifelines alongside with regional allies such as Cuba, Nicaragua, and Bolivia, who share ideology. The Lord is setting these nations up, right? Doesn't mean he's not against them, because Russia's not going to sit in the driver's seat. You know, the Lord is destroying, using Russia just to destroy America to usher in the kingdom for his son, our brother, Yahweh Shai. All right, so Ezekiel 38 and 1, it says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Right, right. So prophesy against him. And the Lord telling him, like, I'm gonna lead you into destruction too. You're gonna destroy America, but I'm gonna lead you into that destruction too, because you're gonna be destroyed. On top of Yahweh head, where he wore many crowns. Yahushua is going to take down all these nations. All right. It says, and say, thus saith the Lord, behold, I am against thee, O Gog and Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. It's talking about Russia. That chief prince is talking about Moscow. All right. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Right. Mm. Yo, turn thee back and look it up. It's Shawab, right? And it says to return back. It says to restore, refresh, repair. See, and what was it? Was it 89 or 90? They they crushed the USSR, George Soros and them. But the Lord said He gonna bring them back. It says allowed to bring back, allowed to return. See that? Mm. To restore, refresh, repair. So that's what the Lord is doing. It says Ezekiel 38:4 says, I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. Right? So he's bringing them back, right? Because it used to be um the Soviet Union and the USSR was nose to nose with America. That's what the whole world was watching, the Cold War. But then so NATO was brought about really to flex, you know what I'm saying? They jumped Russia. Then you had other like rich men like George Soros, um, the nation crusher, crushed the economy of the Soviet Union, and they had to break up. That's why Ukraine was a part of the Soviet Union or USSR. Those are Russians over there in Ukraine. You see that? So the Lord is turning him back around, bringing him back as that Soviet Union force, spirit of the Medes, right? It says, remember when the Medes linked up with Persia, right? Because Cyrus the Great sent Darius the Mede. It wasn't Darius the Persian. He sent Darius the Mede in there to take down Babylon. See that? So having the Medes hooking up with Persia again. Where it says, I will put hooks into their jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with shields and bucklers, all of them handling swords, or heavy artillery. It says, Persia, Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya, all of them with shields and helmets. See that? All right. So now, Persia is Iran. Iranians are known as Persians. All right. So Turkey, yeah, Turkey, right? Hold on. It says Gomor and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarter, and all his bands of many people with. If I'm not mistaken, that's like Turkey and Togomar, northern Turkey. Northern quarters is like like Istanbul. See that? So like, man, I'm not saying this what this is, but this can very well lead into like, you know what I'm saying? Because you got Russia already got a beef with America for what the for how they're backing Ukraine. So just imagine what if Venezuela brings forth a war, right? That where Russia can back uh Venezuela like the United States is backing Ukraine. See that? So we know that the scripture least of them shall draw them out. It's talking about like Israel and little small countries like that. But like shoot, this is another conflict that the United States is being drawn into. You got the situation with Taiwan that's kind of dying down. It might not be dying down, but they're just not really talking about it right now because of how everything else is going on. Then you have the Ukraine situation. Then you have the Israel Iran situation over there in Gaza. You see that Palestine shit. They were protesting a couple weeks ago, talking about free of Palestine. Like man, shit. They ain't finna possess that land. That's our land. You see that? But So the Lord's coming to bring order on the earth. But this is Esau. Man, listen. Let's go back to the uh article real quick. It says the illegitimate regime, Maduro regime, is using oil from these stolen oil fields to finance themselves drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping. Trump wrote in a social media post. Bro, how are they going to even remotely say anything about anything violent going on like that when they the ones that's doing all that? Man, let me see. Where was it at? What was there? Was another point that I was wanting to make. Darn it. All right, maybe it'll come back to me. Oh yeah, I got it. It came back to me. Why do you have a shimmer shot? All right, so now this is the. All right, so let's go back to the article real quick because Esau is really showing the true nature of who he is with the actions that he's doing right here. That Nero 47 is doing. All right, it says Venezuela's government released a statement Tuesday accusing Trump of violating international law, free trade, and principle of free navigation in response. The United States has sent more than 10 warships, a nuclear powered submarine, drones, and at least 15,000 troops to the region since the summer with a goal of stopping illegal drug trafficking boats, allegedly. Since the administration's Operations Southern Spear campaign began in September 25th, or September, 25 strikes on suspected boats have left at least 95 people unalive. Land strikes are potential next step, with Trump teasing in recent weeks that they could come very soon. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have expressed concern about military action inside Venezuela, especially if it were to culminate in a U.S. involved regime change in the South American country. See, and that's what they do. Man, listen, how many regime changes have they had, right? Dealing with dealing with oil. Saddam, Gaddafi, um, uh, now Maduro. See that, man? Listen, yeah. All right, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry." Right? You know that's why like when 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 um when 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 um when Yahweh sent Moses to free us, right? To Pharaoh, he told, well, it was Yahweh Shai, but it was the message from Yahweh. He told him, "I'm going to harden Pharaoh's heart," meaning he's going to show you exactly who he is and what he was made for. He's doing the same thing with Esau, man. The devil is really finna show his horns and not try to hide it, not care who sees it. That's because they want to live like that anyway. They want a satanic order on the earth where they don't have to hide it and they can just do whatever it is they want to do. because they with all that crazy shit. That's why I'm surprised they got Diddy in jail because all of them are just white Diddies. Or Diddy is a black one of them type shit, you know. All right, Yahweh Shema Shai is revealing who the devil really is. Matter of fact, let's go to it. Let's get Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth." That's us out here prophesying. All right, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That's the Lord showing up in these chairs. That's why he's staging the war. He want to see some. He want to see people getting busy. Lord want all the smoke. He want this place to be smoking when he pull up. He don't want the people to get started when he pull up. He want them to already be going. And he want war to be in the air. You see that? The Lord finna show him what demon time really is. It says even him who's after the working of Satan with all power. That's what American thinking has, all power, and signs and lying wonders. See that? But the point is verse 8, it says, "And then shall that wicked will be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming." So the Lord is exposing this devil for who he is and what he was made for. It's Habakkuk 2 and 3 again. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry." All right. So now that's why we speak in the ears of our people the words of prophecy. We're letting our people know who this devil really is and what his agenda is. All right. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him." See that? So, man. So you click on that Napash, right? His soul, right? It says his breath, all right? It says, look, man, activity of the mind, activity of the will, and activity of the character. Mm. His mindset is not upright. His will is not right. His mindset is not righteous. His will is not up. His right is not righteous, and that his character as a being is not righteous. It says seat of appetite, emotions, and passions are unrighteous of this devil, man. It says that which breathes the breathing substance or being, soul, the inner being of man. His mindset is his spirit is not upright. It's not righteous at all, man. See that? It says, "Behold, his spirit, which is lifted up, because he that pride got him lifted up, is not upright." See, we're going to be lifted up in righteousness. We're going to be lifted up and be upright. See that? "But the just shall live by his faith." It says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man." That's what lifts him up, his pride. "Neither keepeth at home." See, he got all them people over there. "Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell." Like he trying to bring hell. Like 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 um he trying to bring press like hell. Like how King David said in Psalms, he's like, "Hell has compassed me round about." And I want to say he was talking about the Philistines being surrounded by the Philistines in war. You see that? And being put in a hellish situation. And that's exactly what they're doing, man. It says, enlarges his desires as hell and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered up to him all people, all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. See that? It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, and how long to him that laded himself with thick clay, man. See that? That clay represents debt. So the proverb against him is a taunting proverb. And he can't even, it's a mystery. He can't even see it. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? Right. And thou shalt be for booties unto them, meaning a spoil. Like how America trying to take everything, these nations are going to strip America bare. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of man's blood, for the violence of the land, or of the city, and of all therein. Woe to him that covered an evil covenant against his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Right. So they're trying to, as they, create hell on earth and stir everything up on earth by taking all the necessities and the natural resources that are needed for living and giving people scraps, um, to put himself in a safe place. All that's going to be a witness against him, man. It says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul, man. He sinned against his own soul. It says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam of the timber shall answer. Right. See that? All these things like that they built up is crying out like back to them, like these the motherfuckers. Their memorials, all that shit. You know? So this is typical America, man. This is typical America. This is typical Esau, I'll say that. Because it's not the land, it's the people here. But this was the place set up for all this to go down by Yahweh Shimon Shai. All right, Lord, willing this lesson to edify and serve the purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shimon Shai. With that, I'd like to say, Call Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Harikak Wadash, my Amath. Double honors to the elder apostles, the great millstone. Double honors to my elder apostle as well. Aharawan Banyash, all down here in the lines and camp. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth. And peace and blessing to the men and women of truth that believe in the name of Yahweh Shimon Shai. Shalom.